Okay, so here's the last part of our spooky Halloween scene tutorial. I'm going to show you how to add some sound effects to that thing and get it all finished up. So I've got Final Cut open, and let's go here to File, Import Media. Okay, and I want to find where I saved that movie. I think I put it in Movies, Scarescape 3, is that it? Yeah, okay. So let's select that, and let's look over here at our settings. Add to existing event. No, we want a new event in Untitled Library, and give that a name. Let's, you can choose either one on this. In this case, since this file is already on my computer, I can leave it in place. If I choose this, it will make a copy of it and put it inside Final Cut library. So I'll leave it in place since I don't need a copy of it. But if you're importing something from an SD card or an external drive, always have that checked. Okay. The rest of it is fine, so let's import selected. So now we have a new event called Halloween and our movies inside there. While I'm at this, I'm just going to rename my library Mac HD library. Okay. Alright, now down here in my project area, I still have the same project open from before. This was from the animation class. So I don't want to mess with this. Let's go to File, New Project. Okay, so it's in the Halloween event, and Halloween version 1. Okay, for this we can just leave it with the automatic settings. Okay. Alright, so now here's my project and here's my movie. I can drag this down into here, and there it is, it'll play. Okay, and you can see down here there are no waveforms, so we need to put some sounds onto there. So Final Cut has a few that are just built in. If you go here to Final Cut Sound Effects or iLife Sound Effects, iMovie Sound Effects. So there's a bunch of things here that you could choose from. You can also type things in here. So we want kind of a spooky, just atmosphere sound. So those are usually called ambient effect. And if you click the play button, it'll preview it. Takes a second to get going usually, but oh, okay, great. Well, let's reopen that then. Okay, so that's not exactly what we're looking for. We can search in this folder, Space Station. Okay, so none of these really have much in the way of ambient sounds. Also, I'm going to give you a link to, well, if you're in my class, there will be a link to some sound effects you can use. So look for that on Canvas. Also, if we hide this, if you are in my class and you go to your Mac HD hard drive, you should have a folder called Digital Media and Sound Effects from School, and there are 30 gigabytes worth of sound effects in this folder. And here, if you just search, go ambient. If you're looking for pills to help you go to sleep, search for that. I'm not typing in the whole word because, if I type ambient, then it takes away anything that ends in CE, but this way you get all of them. Anyway, you can click on it once, hit the space bar to preview it. Night jungle ambience. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so here I can just drag this over a little bit, and anything that I want to use I can just click and drag. Hey, oh, I need to, since Final Cut crashed, I need to, if you double click on your project, then it'll open up over here. Okay, let's bring the night jungle ambience over here. Okay, that's nice. Then how about, do we have any ghost sounds? You can look for anything with the name, that ghost movement. Yeah, works for me. Let's bring that in here. I don't know if spiders really make any sounds, but we can, insect, spider. Jeez. All right. Okay. So let's put that in there, and where are our ghosts? Drag that over like that. Okay. All right. At some point, you're probably going to want to play around with the volume of the individual clips. So I think the ambience is fine how it is. This spider is way too loud. So it's got the line here. You can just click and drag that down to adjust the volume. So we can try that. Let's see how the ghost sounds. Okay, so we might want something a little bit louder at this point where the ghosts come in. How about a scream? It would be nice if I had the Wilhelm scream in here. I don't know if I do. Doesn't look like it. I'm just gonna throw that in here. We'll see how it sounds. Okay. All right. So let's bring the volume down on that a little bit. All right. Notice how when we had that up at the regular volume, see over here how it lit up this red square? So anytime that does that, it's not necessarily going to affect your speakers right now while you're editing it, but once you export this as a finished movie, then anytime that this has happened, that audio is going to be distorted, and it'll be all kind of crackly and really annoying. So you just need to make sure that, this is called audio peaking, you need to make sure that never happens. So ideally, you would, at the loudest, come up to here to 6, but you want it usually around here at the 0. Ambience should be more about down here where that is, and then the louder sounds, talking or significant effects, should be up here more at the 0. So I'm going to pull that down just to make sure that it doesn't peak. And we can play that again. Yeah, that's fine. So go ahead and add in a few more sounds. You probably want to have sounds for things that you don't necessarily see. I mean, we don't see an owl in here, but it would be cool to hear one. So name matches owl. Bird owl call. Okay, so we can put that in there. And if you want to repeat it, just hit Command C and then Command V. Maybe this is coming from a second owl farther away, something. Let's try adding an effect on this one. So once you have your sounds in there, if you go to your effects menu, right now it's doing audio and video, so let's just scroll down to our audio effects, and we could try, oh, I don't know, modulation. You got all kinds of weird stuff specialized. I don't know what would be good for robot. Let's have a robot owl answer it. So here's our regular owl, and then our robot. Okay, that didn't seem to do much. Probably on a human voice it would make more of a difference. So play around with any of these. This pitch one's cool. You could make it sound like a chipmunk or a demon or whatever. Okay. Then once you're done, I'm going to zoom out here on the timeline so I can see the whole thing. Especially with these ambient noises, notice how long they last. So we do not want, you know, a minute worth of just black video over jungle ambience. So you can click on the edge here and just bring that over. And this one, we don't want it to just quit. See, if let's zoom in again. If I drag this over, then the sound is just going to quit. See? So you want your sounds to fade out at the end rather than just quitting. So what we can do, I could either extend this so it lasts as long as it should, or in this case where it's just going to last way too long, let's fade this out. So see how I hover over the edge? If I click on this dot here, see if I'm below or above the dot, then that's where I adjust the length of it. If I get it right on that dot and I drag that, then that's our audio fade. So right now it's doing kind of a steep one, like it goes really gradually and then steeply goes down. If I right click right on the dot, I can choose linear or S-curve or whichever one of these I want to use. So let's go with linear. So now it'll gradually fade out. I could fade out the video as well here in my transitions and just select cross dissolve and put that on the end. There we go. And so once you are happy with what you've got there, then you click here to share it, and usually master file is what you want to use. Let's go to our settings here and see what we've got. So if you want the highest quality that you can, I would go to video and audio, and this one, source Apple ProRes. So that's if you're giving this to a client and they're paying for it and they might want to do other things with it, or if you might want to be editing something afterwards. If you know you're just going to be putting this on YouTube, in most cases web hosting is fine, and then here you choose the size of the resolution. Okay, so for those of you turning it in to me, make sure it's set to this, because here in your megabytes you can see this is 38 megabytes as opposed to 267. So this will be good enough for this project. Okay, so then we could even make the resolution smaller. Now we're only at 12 megabytes. Okay, then we know this is going to be 17 seconds long, and it tells us some of the other things. So hit next and give it a name here. Halloween version 1, hit save. And then right here it shows us our progress. That was pretty quick, and then there we go.